What's up, guys? Obviously, it's Captain Obvious, and welcome to this week's episode of TGIF. I've made a decision to include different games into TGIF, so it's not just Battlefield. Today's gameplay is Mass Effect 3. I made sure this gameplay is extremely spoiler-free. It's just a regular side mission that has no effect on the outcome of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. It's an awesome game. If you guys have yet to buy Mass Effect 3, I highly recommend going out and buying this game. Maybe I'll play with you sometimes, make some multiplayer. It's a fun game. It's an awesome, awesome story. I'm really addicted to it right now. And it's all been playing for the past couple of days. So if you guys ever, get enough money or you have enough money right now to go buy this game, it's a very awesome thing, and I could not recommend it anymore. So what I'm going to talk about today is a question that I received for my Q&A about a couple of days ago. And that was why I started commentating. I felt that this question had a whole lot more of a meaning and required more of a response than my Q&A would have offered it. I'm going to take about 9 minutes to talk about this topic and tell you guys exactly how I got into commentating and what I got out of it. So, like a lot of people, and unlike a lot of people actually, I started from very simple roots in that I was, about a year and a half ago, I started watching other commentators. And at this point, I had never known about the YouTube commentating scene, and it really wasn't too big at all. And it was pretty much, just Hutch and, Blame Truth was on there and things like that. And I basically watched Call of Duty videos. Now, it could have been more than a year and a half ago. I don't quite remember, but I've been watching YouTube for a really long time right now. And, watching these guys and seen them have so much fun at what they do, seeing, all the friendships they made and all the, the experiences that they had over the internet on YouTube just appealed to me more than anything else. Now, let me talk about this time period in my life and how it related to this. Now, during this period, I was going through kind of a dark changing phase. Now, you may not tell from my commentaries, but in the past I've always been sort of a sad and non-outgoing person. I've always been very personal. I've never, reached out to people. And I was going through a sort of, I'm not going to say depressed stage, but a very, held back, saddened stage in my life. Because I felt like I had nothing going for me. I do well in school. There's really not anything other than school that I was good at. Nothing other than school that I had looked forward to in the rest of my life besides, going to college and probably being in business or something like that, like my father is. So I made the executive decision to turn my life around and do something that I enjoyed to do something that made me really happy, and just overall make my life a whole lot better. And that's where YouTube commentating came in for me. I tried different things. I remember trying to get into sports a lot more, exercising. That didn't do it for me. Gaming has always been a love of mine. As you heard in my Q&A, I started back when I was 6 years old with Metroid Fusion, and it's ever since then I've loved gaming. My parents have always restricted me from it. They felt that it's very bad for you. They feel that there's a whole lot more productive things in this world other than gaming, and that was one of my main holdbacks. I was, held back from doing what I love to do because of the restrictions that my parents put on me. Now, if any of you guys don't realize this, or, you don't have families like this, a lot of people, and especially my family, they are very protective of their kids. They want the best for them, and they felt that gaming was not the best for me. And you have no idea how mad this made me. I would, I was 14 years old. I would flip out. I would, they take the controllers or the power cable away from me. As immature and weird as that sounds, it would happen. Because I played too much. It was the thing that I did. And even though, maybe some of the kids in my school, or kids, in my family, my brothers, sisters, things like that, did things that they love for hours at a time, they were never punished for it or even held back from it. But my gaming love was always held back and restricted. So I felt like I'd do something about that. Now, I'll admit it, I know many people have in the past, but I was seeing someone at that time to help me out with making myself a whole lot happier with my life. And what we talked about every week, and it usually went towards me trying to find something that I loved and something that I wanted to do, and eventually came the topic of my gaming thing. And we talked about this for a few weeks on how my parents always tried to restrict me and hold me back from doing this gaming thing. I'm gonna keep calling it gaming thing because it is a gaming thing, and it's all related in the aspect to video games. So eventually, I told my parents that I wanted to do this, and it didn't seem like it to me, but they definitely were laughing. They did not feel it was a legitimate decision. They didn't feel it was a legitimate thing. They felt it was, you know, something stupid, something that was a waste of time, something that took away from more productive things such as school and sports and clubs and other things like that. So that's what they decided. They thought that it was a stupid thing and that it just was pointless. And I felt, obviously, I felt differently. And so I changed that. For my birthday, I bought an HD PVR, my Blue Snowball mic, a new headset, and I think I got a few computer programs to help me along with this thing. And I made my first commentary. It was terrible. It's not up anymore, so don't go looking for it. But it was something that I loved. Right from the beginning, I loved talking into the computer. As odd as that sounds, and as odd it is to somebody who's never done this before, I loved expressing myself through the internet right from the beginning. It was something that I found that I matched with, something that I loved. And it wasn't until about 6 months later that my parents accepted it for what I did. And that 6 months was from 1 to 50 subscribers. It took me 6 months to gain at least 50 subscribers. I didn't start picking it up until end of January of this year. And you can tell that my growth has been extraordinary since then. But it's just that exception that I had to deal with my parents in order to do what I wanted to do something that I loved. And that was what was holding me back. If I had wanted to, I would have started back then. But I'm happy I didn't because I'm more mature now. I'm more serious. I know what I'm doing. And if I had started back when I was 14, 15 years old, I would have butchered it. I would have ruined my entire hope of what I have right now. And this YouTube thing is extremely important to me. I said it in my Q&A, I'll say it again. These past years have been the happiest I have ever experienced. Not past years, past months. I've always been sad in my past. I've always not been happy with what I did, not satisfied with what I did. But I am 100%, 110% actually, satisfied with where I'm going and what I'm doing right now. And there is zero doubt about that. And I just gotta say how happy I am and how just overall satisfied with how my life is working right now. I'm really turning it around. I'm a whole lot happier of a person. I think my friends can see that, even though they have yet to accept my gaming and my commentating thing as an actual legitimate thing. But I know eventually they will turn around. My parents already have, and they give me a whole lot of support for this, except for the fact they still claim that work comes before this. But if I had to choose, this would come before work because this is what I love, and I don't love work. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of TGIF, and whoever asked this question, I really hope it answered your question, and to anyone else who was wondering, I hope it answered your pondering and thoughts as well. If you guys enjoyed the gameplay, remember to let me know down in the comment section if you want to see more Mass Effect 3, and remember to check me out on Twitter and Facebook. The links are down in the description. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Just in case you guys missed it, here's yesterday's video. It was a setup video. It was part 2 of my 1,000 subscriber special. Twitter and Facebook, and if you guys have yet to, make sure you subscribe. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.